everybody. Thanks for joining us here. I'm Beth Hunt, the evening anchor for KATV Channel 7 News in Little Rock, Arkansas. I'm joined by Cassandra Webb, who is our morning anchor, and Alicia Dover, who is our afternoon anchor. This is not all we do. This is not our main full-time job. Our main full-time job is that of moms, and that's really why we're here today. We wanted to share with you something that we have in the works. It's going to be a video blog, a vlog, I guess is what they call it, and it's going to be about all things mom, things that we struggle with every day, maybe some mom hacks that we share with you. We're going to be interviewing some interesting guests, and it's all about sharing together this experience of what it is to be a mom, and specifically for us, working moms. Are you guys excited about this?
Yes.
Yes.
I think this is a really good opportunity to kind of give people an inside look into who we are as human beings too, right? Because we do kind of wear a lot of hats, as they say.
Yeah, don't always get to show that side of us as well. And the interesting thing, I think, too, is that we're all in different stages, a little bit of motherhood. Some of it kind of intersects, though. Like, we have some of the same ages, but also not. We have boys, girls, and we can kind of introduce ourselves with that, too.
So Cassandra, tell us a little bit about your family life and your kids and what stages you're in.
Okay, so I have been married about 17 years now, and we have a 12-year-old girl and a 6-year-old girl. So I'm a girl mom for sure, and so people tend to notice that significant gap in ages, and that was on purpose because my husband is active duty military, and I did not want to have a baby while he was deployed. So we had to wait until he was kind of in a position where he wasn't going to leave me. And so that didn't happen until about 6 years later. And so we had our second child. But it's a lot of fun having that gap, I think, because the older one has been able to help with the younger one. And it's just been really fun having a little one and a big one at the same time.
Yeah. And we were talking that 12-year-old yesterday. What a crazy stage of life that is to be in for a young girl.
Oh, it's so much fun. We are bouncing back and forth almost by the hour between her still being a little girl and then being grown. And I don't know by the hour which one I'm going to get. So it really goes back and forth, and that's tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're both great, and she's adapting well to middle school, but this year has been really, really challenging.
Yeah, I'm sure a whole lot of parents can identify with that out there. We'll be having conversations about that for sure. As for me, I have a 4-year-old little boy named Eli, and then one on the way, obviously. Turn to the side, you can see one very soon on the way, actually. So I've got about 7 weeks left, and another boy. So I'm following in Beth's footsteps of being a boy mom, but I've just kind of went through that whole potty training stage. We're dressing ourselves now. So I got one totally self-sufficient, and now I'm going to mess it all up again.
You're starting all over. Starting all over.
Yeah, so excited about that. And I'm married to my husband, Jeremy, of 8 years now. Can't believe it's been 8.
Okay, I know. It happens so quickly, you know, in a blink of an eye. Well, I've been married for 17 years. We have 3 boys, a 16-year-old, an 8-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And I tell people that, and they're like, whoa, why did you do it that way? And I always tell people, it was so difficult for me to adjust with the first child, and you know, I felt like he struggled a little bit and was maybe a little bit colicky in the beginning, and I thought, I don't know if I want to do this again. You know, it was really difficult. So we waited 8 years before we had number 2, and he was like such a breeze, just like a pleasant baby. And I thought, okay, well, I could do this again. I got pregnant again. We unfortunately lost that one. And then I kind of made it my mission. I was like, I have to try one more time. And that's when we had Bo, the caboose, and he's 4-year-old, and he is a wild man. So we have a whole lot going on in our house on any given day. You know, we have the teenager things and we have the toddler things. So I feel like, you know, I have whiplash. I'm going from one to the other. So, you know, I'll be interested in talking about things that teenagers are dealing with, and maybe some of the the conversations we have with our 16-year-old and the struggles that we face there, through grade school with our 8-year-old, and then some of the toddler stuff, and maybe trying to tame the toddler a little bit. Yeah.
Beth has been my person that I just bounce all the boy questions off of, and all the toddler mom questions. And when I was pregnant with the first one, all the birthing questions and all of those things. And it's stuff we're already talking about. That's what I love. We're having these conversations while we're putting on our makeup, getting ready for the shows.
And a lot of these will be very informal. It could be, you know, one of us at the ballpark shooting video on our phones, talking about, you know, the chaos that we endured that morning and just getting to the ballpark, and maybe some healthy snack options. It's really going to be kind of all over the place, but very timely to what's happening in our lives, and maybe even timely to stories that are going on from day to day, just maybe our perspective on it. We'll also probably give you a little bit of behind the scenes here at Channel 7, because I know some people are always interested in that.
Definitely.
Yeah, they are. They're like, oh, you don't have a makeup artist?
No.
And a hair? No, I don't. So and things like that people don't really think about sometimes.
Another popular question you probably get, because when I was on that shift, I knew I got it all the time. It's what time do you wake up in the morning, and how do you make all that work? It's a difficult schedule.
It is a difficult schedule, especially with children. It's a difficult schedule even if you don't have children, but I got to put them to bed, and I'm literally going to bed when my 6-year-old goes to bed. Yeah. So that's fun. And so the older one kind of just hangs out, but I'm hoping that Dad puts her to bed at a reasonable time. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know.
Well, what are some things you're going to be interested in talking about?
Well, you know, I'm kind of like you, and we have that big spread of ages. So the tween stage is interesting. So, you know, ways to kind of talk to her, because she, you know, depending on your approach, will shut down or she'll engage. And that's been kind of tricky to navigate. And then we've got the 6-year-old. And so how can she be a good role model and things like that. Peer pressure now is a real thing, wanting to impress people, thinking that everybody is watching her every move and everything she wears, which we know is not true.
Right.
But we were all there. We really cared about what people thought about us. And, you know, it takes about 20 years to get over. So that's kind of where we are with the big one, the older one.
And they have an added layer that we didn't have. They felt scrutinized when they were maybe at school, but they also feel it at home, because you have social media and, you know, all the kids are on it. So we'll be tackling a whole lot of topics with regard to that.
Yeah, I can't imagine. And I think for me, it's just finding that balance. You know, I'm going to look to you two for sure with having more than one child. I think you kind of have that point where you feel like, okay, we've got this down a little bit. And now that we're bringing a second one into it, it's just finding that work-life balance and being a good mom, feeling like you're failing most days at both. Because I think a lot of working moms can identify with that. And you know, it's just sharing all kinds of things. Like, I'm going through pregnancy right now for a second time. This one has been completely different than my first pregnancy. I've had some complications and some difficulties with that. And, you know, I think a lot of people can identify with that too.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm excited to be on this journey with you guys. Sometimes we'll be together in these, but other times it will be one of us just maybe doing some interviews or talking about some things. But I'm really excited.
Me too. Yeah. And I hope to hear from moms too. Like, I hope we can start a conversation where you guys can talk back to us and tell us your stories too, because we all have similar situations.
Yeah. Okay, we haven't come up with a name for this vlog, this mommy vlog quite yet, but we are working on that. We have maybe top 3 contenders, so we're going to narrow that down. And we hope that you'll join along. We're going to be posting these vlogs and podcasts monthly, I believe, maybe one a week is what I heard. So we're going to work on it, and we'll keep you posted, but we definitely hope you stay tuned.